Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I blinked and it was Tuesday.
It's a fast. This week has been some kind of fast.
And then, we're texting each other. It's either you're having a snowstorm or I'm having a snowstorm. It's like nonstop snow. Anyway.
Oh, Nadine made it. Awesome. Nadine's here already. And I see
Hello,
Donna.
Nadine. Hello, everyone. So welcome to Cookie Therapy. I'm Marlyn, and this is Amy. That's Amy.
Hello.
Hello, Jennifer, Kathy.
Oh, good. Tracy made it too.
Sunny North Carolina.
Well, it's sunny here, but it's still cold.
Hello, Tracy. Welcome, everybody. So hopefully, even though it's a little, well, for those of you that aren't enjoying the sun, it's a little depressing outside. Hopefully we'll bring you a little bit of brightness and like just some spring feels, right?
Look, we have Michigan and Maryland are here. And then we've got England. We're so glad you joined us. What time is it in England right now?
It's 6 hours ahead. Hello,
ahead?
Jenna. Yeah.
Brazil. Cool. Mexico. Look at this. Hey,
South
Heather.
Africa.
South Africa. What time is it there? Are they same time zone?
No, I don't think South Africa. And actually, I was checking my algorithm, and South Africa, I think, is the third highest, like, of the countries that are watching me. So I was surprised to see South Africa in the top. And Brazil, I think there's. I'm participating in a cookie show, their virtual cookie show. So welcome.
Fun.
Hello, Judy. And the troublemaker is here, Jeremy.
And Jeremy is here. Hi, Jeremy.
Hello, Jeremy.
Santa Fe, you guys are thawing out. Texas, Miami, Florida, Maine.
See, it's 8 in South Africa, she's saying.
Wow.
And it's Sarah in Melbourne. I think they're kind of going into fall now. Their seasons are completely opposite to us.
Hey, Jersey.
Yeah, I have somebody that's photo
visitor. Brian saying hello today.
Hello, Brian.
Oh, hello. Look, Fabiola's here. Hello there.
It's so true, Jeremy. We'd be bored without you.
We would be totally bored.
So today, like I said, we're both working on, is it full Easter what you're doing, or is it more spring?
It's full on Easter, mine is.
I'm full Easter too.
And it's for the kids. You guys will love it, I think. And it's totally in line with me, sprinkles, candy, all of that.
Yes.
3 p.m. in Brazil.
Oh, it's not a big time difference.
Cool.
So did you want to start? Are you ready to go?
Sure, I'm ready. You guys ready? Look at this super cute. Let me flip my camera. I'm going to show you the cookie first, and then I'll flip to the other camera. And then you guys are going to see all kinds of amazing candy today.
Let's change the view, though, this way. There.
Can you see my little Easter basket?
Very
cute. It's a sugar cookie on the bottom. And then that edible Easter grass that I was telling you guys about, that's sour apple flavor. Not aware I was into sprinkles. You're hilarious. And then it's got the eggs in it. And this one I use jelly beans. And look, I have a chocolate rabbit. But you guys, oh my goodness. You have to go now if you live in the States. I don't know what the situation is in Canada. But for us right now, everything is just getting put out for Easter. So if you're going to go shopping, I'm going to send this camera to the back, and then I'll come back on in a little bit with the front one, okay? Let me get on the right one, bring this layer to the back.
Inventory is an issue?
What is it?
You're saying that inventory is an issue?
Yes, right now you can get so much good stuff. Can you see how cute that cookie is? And just to give you guys an idea, let me get switched. Am I centered, Marlyn?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so let me give you an idea. The reason I did this cookie is because the kids want everything combined at Easter, right? They want cookie, they want that sweet royal icing. They love this edible Easter grass because it's sour apple flavored. Who doesn't want a chocolate rabbit? And then I'm going to show you choices here. But when I went to get my supplies for today's class, I found everything. I found so many choices. So I just want you guys to take a look at it before you decide what to do. And as always, because if you are selling, I want you to also know what the packaging is. This is from Walmart. So, and it's for cookies specifically. So let me show you this because it's so easy. You get all of these really cool Easter bags in this package. They usually have a decorated Easter package like this every year. So we've got the bag, we've got the tray that goes in the bottom, and it comes with a matching colored seal. I don't know why it's making that extra noise. Do you hear that?
I do.
All right, give me just I don't know what could be causing that.
Are you watching on a device in another?
No, I don't have anything else on.
I don't know.
Let me try to switch my microphone. I think that might be it. Let me see. I'm going to switch back to just a regular one, okay, and see if that helps us. Is that any better?
Seem fine.
Okay. Let's come back over here then. All right, so this packaging opens up. It's a nice gusseted bag, you see? Then the disc goes in the bottom. So you have a nice stable platform for your cookie. And then this cookie just fits perfectly in here. So I'm using about a 3-inch round. And then you tie it at the top and put your Easter gift tag on it. And it's such a cute little set. It's so sweet. So now let's do my favorite thing and discuss candy. So last year, you could only get these. This was the only bunnies I could find that were in that shape of bunny rabbits. So these are great, but they won't last long. Okay, so if you're going to be shopping, you need to pick these up. But look what they have this year, because we wanted to offer it in 2 sizes. So look at this, you guys. Package of 6 bunnies and their cookies and cream. And look how cute these are. I'm going to show you all this stuff so that you don't have to spend the money that I did. You can pick your favorite and run from there. Look how cute he is. He's 3.5 inches tall. Isn't he sweet?
Adorable.
So you can have that little guy.
Probably pipe on some details if you want.
Yes, because he's very detailed in the chocolate mold. So I did test it. You can do royal icing on here. You can even use some of the paint for chocolate. And the paint for chocolate looks good because it's a white rabbit. This is the one that's in the basket I just showed you, this little chocolate guy, right? So he's sweet, but look how small he is compared to the big one I found. And then if we have any chocolate connoisseurs and they just want something a little nicer than the Hershey's chocolate, look what Ghirardelli made this year.
Oh, that's so cute.
And normally these guys are not shaped. They are not shaped. They're squares, you know, but I bought one just in case. And look at how sweet he is. And he is caramel filled. Isn't that great? So he's dark chocolate with caramel filling. We've got a milk chocolate option, and we've got the cookies and cream in a much larger size, so you can scale your project or cookie accordingly. But I tried them all. They're all fantastic. I've never met chocolate I didn't like. So, and then look at this, you guys. This is the kid baskets that I make. I tend to use these Starburst. I tend to buy a bunch of these bags, the Starburst jelly beans and the Fave Reds, because everything in here is red. So I get a whole bunch of these this time of year because it's the only time that they come out, and I use them all throughout the year for noses and different things. So tempted to eat the bunny.
So those are for Valentine's Day?
Now, Elizabeth. Great though, guys. Huh?
Are they sold for Valentine's Day normally?
I didn't see them this year for Valentine's, but they were out with the Easter. But you see, there's 3 shades in here. There's 3 flavors and 3 shades. So I typically get about, I don't know, 12 of these bags, and I sort the colors and keep them separate so that I don't have to pick through when I'm doing a project. I just use that little bead tray. So jelly beans are an option to fill your basket. to make your eggs, but then look what they had this year. Isn't that great? So he's dark chocolate with caramel filling. We've got a milk chocolate option, and then we've got the cookies and cream in a much larger size, so you can scale your project or cookie accordingly. But I tried them all. They're all fantastic. I've never met chocolate I didn't like. So, and then look what they had this year. Sour Patch.
Oh, those are pretty. Look at the
pink
colors.
and the green. I'm going to pull these pinks out for noses, whatever I've left. And then this green is great. But this goes great with the flavor of the Easter grass. The Easter grass, this is what I was telling you about last week. They have some, but I'll tell you, anybody that cookies or makes cupcakes or does cakes, they grab this stuff as soon as it comes out. It's super affordable. So if you're going to be doing any of those things, you need to grab this right away.
From Germany.
Yeah, and
imported from Germany. I've never seen that product ever.
And it's from Kentucky. I guess it's distributed by Gallery out of Kentucky, but it's a product of Germany. It's $2 a bag. It does a ton of cookies. Plus, this is so great on cakes.
So what is the consistency of that? Like when you eat that, is it like, does it melt in your mouth?
Yeah,
or?
It melts right away, and it's sour apple. So for people that like the sour candies at Easter, this is fabulous. Let me pull it down and let you get another.
Well, what's banana? It says banana on it.
It's banana flavored. The little bunnies that are in here, I don't use those because they're too small, but there's little wafer paper bunnies in here, and it's banana. So it's green apple on the grass and banana for the bunnies. But I don't. You can use the bunnies, save them, and use them on something else. I just don't.
So you said Walmart sells that grass?
Walmart, yeah. Walmart had tons of it. Now, if you live in Culpeper, I'm really sorry. I'm just going to tell you, you're going to have to go somewhere else to get your grass. if you're in my town.
Confess to buying out the whole store.
I took the case. And then Cadbury mini eggs, you guys. I want to show you what these look like so you don't have to spend a bunch of money in case you want to do this, okay? So you've seen the jelly beans. This has 4 flavors in the bag, and they're very, very egg-shaped, these little candies. So a lot of other things you can use it for. And I'm pulling all this out and not getting a yellow. Okay, but there's white, there's pink, there's blue, there's yellow. These are fantastic.
They're more naturally pigmented. They're less like, they're more like adultish, I want to say.
Yes, and they've got the speckles, which I love.
So I think you could do more speckles. Let's say if you want, and you could spatter them yourself.
Yes, definitely. And it looks really good if you do gold splatter. These hold the gold and it doesn't sink in and melt away. And then look, they probably had these last year and I just missed them. But look at this. M&M eggs this year. And look at the difference. So you've got to pick your color scheme, commit, and get going. But you've got those beautiful jelly beans, and then look at these M&M ones compared to the color of the Cadbury. So you've got 3 different options here that you can run with for, you can do neon Easter, you can do the more natural looking Easter. These, I guess, such a sacrifice, I know. Well, listen, you guys, right before we came on live, my husband came over and grabbed the bag of Ghirardelli bunnies and went to take off with them. And I was like, no, that's for live today. So I was like, don't take that bag yet. But this is nice because the kids are really going to like the sour things. So you've got a couple options in the jelly beans there. You've got bright colors. These, buy a bunch of bags and these and put them up because Bird's Nest, makes beautiful eggs for your bird nest cookies for fancier cookies in the springtime. So don't just buy one or the other. Probably you need all of them. Just saying, sorry to enable you, but it is what it is, right? Now, this year, I'm going to make an addition to my basket. So this is not the exact item, but you guys are all familiar with Twizzlers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the little snack sizes. So these won't work because they're not big enough. But the thing that you want to buy, I already have these out of the bag. I just wanted to show you the brand name. Do you see these ropes, the multicolored ropes?
What the heck are those?
Aren't they cool? And they taste great. They have that cream center, but it's Twizzlers, and they're called candy ropes. But I'm going to make my basket handle out of that this year. Last year, we had the basket no handle. This year, we're going to curve it, and we're going to have a handle.
Super cute.
So if you guys, I think we have time, right? I'll have about 15 minutes. We'll put a cookie together if that's good with you guys. We good for that?
Yeah.
All right. Let me accept that, Marlyn. Somewhere I moved my cookie.
You moved your cookie?
I moved my cookie earlier today. Hold on one sec.
Well, we'll forgive you.
Okay, so for today, you guys are just going to pretend this is a circle because it's the only thing handy, okay? I don't know where those got off to, but I matched my icing
Oh
to
yeah.
the color of my Easter grass because then it blends in really well. And so easy if you guys find this Easter grass, I'm going to tell you right now, do not go through 6 different colors of green. It's just Chef Master Neon Bright Green. I don't have any of the bright green from Hobby Lobby, but probably that's going to work too. So now I'm going to show you how to put this together. They're so fast. I will warn you, if you decide to sell a bunch of these, open all of your candy before you actually sell down to the last cookie, because sometimes your bunnies will be messed up or cracked. You may not get as much out of the bag as you're thinking, okay?
Oh, that's a great tip.
Yeah, and that happened to me last year. I was 3 bunnies short and had to make a run, and then I ended up going in all kinds of crazy places. So you don't want to do that this year with COVID, okay?
Well, worst case, you have to eat the extras.
That's right. It's better to have too many. Plus, you can still use these bunnies in particular for baby showers and stuff, like on other cookies. All right, so what I'm going to ice the whole cookie just because probably my OCD is going to kick in if I just do a circle. So I'm just going to quickly flood this just to give you an idea of how fast this cookie is. You guys, if you're a beginner, jump in here because this cookie doesn't have to be perfect. Look at how messy this is. This
We
is
like not perfect.
right, and this is a very thick consistency icing. I don't want it to settle down. I want it to look roughed up. Right? It's going to look better because it'll become part of the Easter grass.
So do you think that this grass stuff, when it dries, like let's say you had it out, would it become like crack? Like, you know what I mean? Like wouldn't bend as much? Like this is, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
this cookie is from a year ago and the grass is still just like it was when I put it on there.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. Let's get this open and test this one out, okay? And I do keep my grass in a sealed container, airtight container, and a Ziploc bag as well in the airtight container once it's been opened. You don't want it to absorb a lot of moisture. All right, so what was Jeremy's joke? I missed it.
I'll put it on in a second. So Susan's asking for an alternative if they don't have access to that. I think maybe coconut might be an option.
Dyed green coconut dyed green would definitely work on this. Also, you could use regular wafer paper and make this yourself if you had the time to, cut this up. But you could also do it in short strips. You don't have to have this whole big loop. But let me show you how.
You just do it in icing. You could also.
Yeah, absolutely. You could just use that grass tip, right? Don't you think that would be pretty too?
Yeah.
As long as the icing's thick, because you have to hold the bunny up. But look how this separates. See? It's really nice. It stays together great. I'm making the biggest mess here today. You guys would be cracking up if you were here. So you basically leave it in its shape. Can you guys see this okay?
Yes.
I see it, Jeremy. Let's see. So what I did was I just left it in this shape. I can get about 14 cookies out of that one bag of grass. Now, for me, I just wrapped it under. You don't have to do this. I wrapped it under to try to keep it together a little bit. I like these edges, so I just left all of them. And literally, you guys, so easy. Just set this down on the cookie. All right?
I'm just going to say, if this is live, so the stream gets saved and you can rewatch it later. If you missed parts of the information, you can rewatch it. And
I'll answer questions, you guys. I won't leave you hanging if you need something.
No, but what's the grass? I'm just saying for the people, you can rewatch the live stream.
So I'm going to go with one of the smaller bunnies. I'm going to go with this little guy, the dark chocolate.
Oh, here's a good question, Amy. Do you have to, as a bakery, list the ingredients of the candies you're putting inside your cookies when you're selling your stuff?
I do. I put it on the label. And I just take, I have a label printer. So if I'm using M&Ms, I put a label on for the M&M. If I'm using the jelly bean, I put the jelly bean on there because you have to disclose the allergy information and specifically those food colors.
Okay.
So this year, now when they come into my store and purchase off the counter, I'm not required to do that. But obviously the last year has been very different because we don't have walk-in traffic because of COVID, right? So this year labeling everything became very important. So you don't get in the middle of the night and start switching things out, because then that leads to paperwork behind the scenes, and I do all of that stuff ahead of time. So once my final designs of cookies are done, everything gets its own label made.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you this, play with this for a second, because you know from the last couple of videos what wafer paper does. You have to just start connecting it, and you see my icing is getting a little crusty. So that's the perfect time to start feathering the grass a little bit, fluffing it if you want to. But what I was going to comment on is the reason I ended up making that little twisty area where I tuck my grass in is because it holds the bunny up.
Oh.
So I put my bunny in, it gives it structure. This is a very thick icing. This is definitely toothpaste consistency. And I'm going to go ahead and go with the M&M eggs on this one for the bright colors. And usually on something like this, I like to work in odd numbers. I don't think it really matters. I don't think anybody's going to be like, oh, you know, there's 3 on this one and 4 on that one. But this is a very big Easter egg. So I thought this would be great. And then, of course, I've just got some generic sprinkles, Easter colored sprinkles, and I'm just going to throw a few little sprinkles in there to give it a little more color. I'm going to use my scribe, tap them down just to get them attached. I'll let this entire thing dry, and then after it dries, I'll flip it over for a couple of reasons. I'll be flipping it over to make sure everything is fully secured, like that the bunny doesn't come loose and these big Easter eggs don't come loose. But also that extra candy kind of makes a mess down in the bag. So I'll tip it over and just dump those extra little pieces off. So,
whatever it is, stick.
Mm-hmm.
Asking about your pink thing in your hand there.
Oh, it's thingamajiggy from Couture. I don't want to say the wrong name, but I think I'll have to look it up. But it's from Jeannie at Cookie something. I should know that. I'm stumbling. I don't know. I know the name of her company very well.
Oh, she froze.
I did.
Yeah. Okay, continue. You're good.
Okay. So this year I'm adding the handle, and this may fall over because I'm going to tip it for you while it's wet. But isn't that so cute?
It is adorable.
So great fast project. You can have everything prepped ahead of time. This is easily a $6 cookie. You've got your packaging already done. Your packaging may not look exactly like this, but you're going to be looking for the bags that are that you stack the cookies in, okay? And then you've got plenty of room to put your labeling on the bottom. Let me pull this out so you can see it. You'll have plenty of room to put your labeling on here, so you can have that done ahead of time. You can have your gift tags done ahead of time. I even made some fancy bows, Easter bows, out of ribbon that I bought on sale last year to fancy the bags up. But
just back to the label, because there's a few questions with regards to label. So do you print like a large label and put it in your overall box that they pick it on? Where do you stick this label? Is it on?
I make a label for the candies I'm adding. So the candies are on one label and it says candy and whatever candy I'm using. And then I have a label that is for my cookie and my icing.
But so where do you stick this label?
Usually on the bottom of this.
Oh, okay.
I think we're allowed to print down to a 6-point.
Okay.
So it does all fit on here. You also have to have your address, phone number, and your store name on here. So I have a cute little oval stamp that I put on the gift tag. So I get everything on there, but I don't jam it all together because it doesn't. Yes, Cookie Countess. You can buy them from Cookie Countess, but they're not actually. She sells them, but someone else makes them. So if anybody knows the company name, it's Cookie something.
It's the person that makes the stencil holder.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
I think.
But I like the addition of the handle. I think the kids are going to love that. So I probably will be going with this rope. I'll probably be going with my milk chocolate bunny because this is going to be marketed to the kids, right? And then I think I'm going to be using my new find, which was the M&M eggs, because they're so neon colored. And
And Michelle's making a comment that it would be better to have a clear bag. Probably yes, but I think, Amy, it's a question of accessibility, right? That's what's available at Walmart, and it's something that's easy for people to just purchase, like have easy access to. I think.
And with my handle, Marlyn, I may upgrade the packaging this year and put it in one of those clear 4-inch by 4-inch boxes. But I did just grab everything for this live for you guys that you could grab easily, that you don't have to wait to order. You don't have to order 10,000 of it. Just something, if you wanted to start playing, make something for the grandkids, something for the kids in your neighborhood that you have access to. But my favorite for these is actually the 4-inch by 4-inch box, the candy box that we use for chocolates. They look great in there. And with this grass already attached to your cookie, it just makes it look so nice.
How big do you think that round needs to be?
I was doing them on a 3-inch round, but today you guys saw I had an extra mushroom cookie from another cookie thing that I'm doing. So this is actually, you can't even tell really, I don't think, but this is actually on a mushroom shaped cookie. But I did them on 3-inch round last year. That's how I did all my costing.
So Judy here is saying she doesn't label everything. Listen, Judy, from what I understand in the United States, each state has really unique individual laws.
Yes, they do. And different from store to cottage bakery too.
Yeah, you need to contact your local area and find out what you need to do. You don't, if you don't need to do everything Amy's doing, then don't do it, right? It's just a lot of extra work. So contact whoever regulates your area and find out what you need to do in your area, because
before COVID, as long as they came in, I didn't have to label any of this if they were buying off the counter. But because everything is contactless curbside, it has to be labeled.
Okay.
So it's different. Now, I did make some things where I would pre-done sets that were boxed and sealed, where they didn't get to choose the item and all of that. Those things require labeling, but it is very different state to state and very different on the type of business you have within your state. So definitely check that out. But there's so much good information on the internet. But you guys like him?
He's super cute, but now we can't see Amy. The way you've got your camera set up.
Do you want to see him one more time? Let me flip it back.
One more time.
I was flipping over so that I could take the controls and you could get going. Let's see. I'm going to bring this to the front. I think I may have my camera issue solved by next week. We'll be able to.
She's going to show us her little nest one more time.
Yes, here we go.
Adorable. So I think that Amy, what about on a cupcake, your little topper thing? Would that melt in the buttercream, or would that work on a cupcake?
No, it works great. Let me show you the picture on the bag, actually. Do you see this?
Oh, they have it on a cupcake. Yeah. Very nice.
And it doesn't disintegrate. As long as you don't have a super watery buttercream, if your buttercream is on the thicker side, it really works fantastic. And it works great on cakes too. I make a lot of single layer 8-inch cakes at Easter time. I don't know that I'll be doing that this year if we're still with all of these restrictions.
Yeah.
But typically people use those for celebrations after Easter Sunday service. So I hope I'll be making them again. Maybe we'll be back to that, but I don't know.
Those little bunnies, Amy, I find it almost sad that you don't use them. I'm looking at them. I think they'd be cute on a little maybe Easter wreath. Like if you were to do a little wreath, you could do branches and
these little guys?
Yeah, and just drop them into the brown icing, like to do a little,
Yes, I actually have 2 years of these saved. So they're going to get used for something this year since I'm so into wafer paper. But that attachment to wafer paper for me and finding all the unique uses for it didn't start till this year.
Okay, well, that's it. We all are artistic things go in waves.
So, but look at these. Aren't they great? These are great on top of the cupcakes too.
You've got the camera set up. We see you. We don't see anything in your hands.
Can you see that right there? There's
the button. They're very nice.
All right. So we need to switch to you so you can do that awesome cookie. You guys are going to freak out when you see Marlyn's cookie.
So let me just do the camera dance.
All right.
So there.
And if I missed any questions, I'll come back to them. But you think we got them all right?
I was pretty much on top of it. So I just want to quickly thank the people who sent me stars on Friday. Thank you very much. Stars and Super Chat are like virtual tip jars. So thank you to those of you that sent those. Did a comment just pop in? So everybody's loving your cookie. So on Friday, if you watch the live, so I'm on live on Fridays and Tuesdays. And on Friday, I was showing how to make templates. So I figured I'd actually decorate the templates that I made on Friday.
Right.
So I just added them, actually, the templates to the group, to the Cookie School group that I have. That's on Facebook or Patreon. Right. And you can download. They're formatted to go with the Anne Clark egg cookie.
I love it. The Easter egg is like the candy corn, right? You can use it for so many things.
And you can. It's like one of those, it's a nice big area to decorate. So today I thought we'd do two. I'm going to go fast for the chick here. So first thing I want to say, if you're making icing and you're like a home baker, when you make your royal icing, the first consistency once you've made your icing is stiff, okay? But you need flood to do the base. So ideally, if you want to like use all your icing and maximize your icing so you don't have leftovers, is you make your icing, color it yellow, and then make royal icing transfers. So the template's on that sheet, and then you can have them ready to go when you turn your icing into flood on day 2. So these need to dry overnight. And then on day 2, when you flood your cookie, you can just drop them in to this base. So I
love the chick wings.
The chick wings were made with a petal tip, and like it's just to give them a little bit more like interest, right? So this is called Egg Yolk Yellow. It's by Americolor. The companies, there's like different companies, but they all basically come down to the same thing. Like they all are similar, right?
It's such a nice shade for spring though, right?
I like this yellow. It's like, there's another one, it's like more neonish. This one I find is a little bit more, I want to say like natural. Like the other one is a little bit, looks like, you know.
So that probably would be good with the Cadbury eggs, right? The more natural tone.
I think so. And this one here, when it's a little bit more muted also, it's a little bit like more adultish. And this chip cookie is great if you're a beginner because the icing, if it's not super level and all that, it doesn't matter. This is like he's supposed to be covered in feathers, so it's all fine.
I love it.
And if you don't have petal dust, which is basically blush for your cookies, you can use royal icing, pink royal icing, which I made for the bunny. And I'm just, my icing piping tip is dried out. I'm just reopening it. So here I'm just in the wet icing, adding 2 dots here in the wet icing to add like a little bit of blush. I do like blush on my character cookies. I just find it gives them a little bit more of a cutesy look. I got some dimples there.
Wow, look at what look at this comment, Marlyn. Are you sure that's directly from Walmart? That they're $24.99 for 3 packs? Because they're actually.
What did you pay, Amy?
$2. It's actually stamped on the bag that that's the price.
Well, maybe it's a reseller. The Walmart site's a little bit like Amazon now, and they have resellers that mark up crazy. So make sure that it's actually Walmart selling it.
Yeah, and the other thing you can do, you guys, is get those pull-apart, the pull-apart Twizzler sticks and make your own grass if you need to. That would be an option.
So I'm just dropping in my wings. They are made in advance, and they're dry. And you don't have to do it like just 24 hours. They could be made, you know, a couple of weeks in advance too. Now I just don't have enough on my feet too.
When you made cookies for people, was Easter like your second or third biggest holiday? What did you find for that?
Not really. For me, I didn't really do that much business when it came to holidays. My business was birthdays and baptisms of all things.
Oh, okay. Well, you have a super detailed style too, so I could see that. Hi, Laura.
And so you can do the pearls or the icing. So this one here is icing, but I'm going to just use pearls for this guy. And I do like the pearls, but if you don't have, well, you don't have to mix up the black food gel if you use a pearl, right? And it creates a little bit of a dimple when you push it in, and it's hard to see here on the video, but I do like that look. And same here, the beak, like it gets pushed in.
And you guys, look, she just did that cookie in a matter of minutes. So if you need to do a lot of them, as long as you've taken the time to do your prep work, you're going to be set.
So the transfers are there, the feet are there, and the wings and the beak. So and then the little tuft of, so this is a star tip, and this is a petal tip, and that's it. You've got your stick, and these, you could even do your grass in the bottom of the bag with the little, just to add a little bit of color.
I was just going to say, if you're a cookie purist, you could certainly make the Easter bunnies for the nest cookie by doing miniature cookies. Oh my gosh, look at how cute that is.
And if you want, you could add other elements to the little guy. Oh, here I have this. I made these that you can, if you want, again, these are the feet for the bunny, but you could do those feet if you wanted. So this is just a petal cookie cutter, a small petal cookie cutter. And these are bunny feet that I iced orange instead. So you can do a different kind of version. But Easter's like a fun time to do kind of like little kind of toy cookies. I think it's a cute time to do that. So let me move him.
That's so cute. And if you did that as a set with the bunny ears and those little feet, you know kids would go crazy for that.
Yeah, and you could drop in a few eggs in your bag. So now the bunny, I'm not going to have time, I don't think, to do the lamb, but I thought I'd just focus on the bunny. So I make templates. So the stencils, so the template that's here, this art, if you want a silhouette or a cricket, you can cut that as a stencil. I design so that it becomes a stencil so that you can transfer that to your cookie. So here it's brown now because I airbrushed it. So you can transfer that on the surface of the cookie with a marker or with your airbrush. And then you have your guidelines super fast.
This is another reason you guys need to break out those airbrushes and start practicing, because they're super handy for guidelines.
Well, I mean, practice, when you're doing guidelines, you don't even, I mean, it's like really, you could even use a canned mist. Well, the thing about the canned mist, it does work, but it blows around a lot. It's quite strong, the air that comes out, right?
Right. Have you ever been airbrushing edges like with dark brown or black and then thought you were dying when you went to blow your nose?
Yeah, well, that's it. You're breathing it. So now I'm using pink icing here, and I'm just going to add the middle of the ear.
Oh, these are so sweet.
You can brush it on if you'd rather have like the ear inside the ear be a little bit flatter. It's entirely up to you, like the look you want to go for.
Yeah. Oh, wait, this is funny. Laura says you sneeze a rainbow. It's totally true, but no one warned you about it. So unless you've had it happen to you before, it's really great to set someone up in a new class and let them do that.
Well, it's not just, it's like the whole room is covered in this stuff.
Right, it's everywhere. It even, I was shocked because I have a light above my workstation that's a good 8 feet above, and I clean it every 3 months. And I was shocked at how much airbrushing mist was on that light that's so far away. But I guess, you know, the air and the air in the summertime circulates it and draws it up.
So now I'm doing the belly area. So you can, I guess you could ice the whole thing and just like add the details, but I like to have a definition between the sections. So if you're new to cookie decorating, you do that by icing each section and then letting it dry a little bit, not overnight, like just like a half an hour or something like that until you do your whole batch. And then there's like an eggshell that forms on top of the icing. And so when you add more icing, well, they remain kind of separate. And so that's how you get your kind of parts so that looks like a little kind of toy, you know?
Mark, can you tell him where to get the template again?
So that template's in my cookie school group. So that's like a paid group. It's $5 a month. You can sign up on Facebook or on Patreon. Patreon allows for a year subscription with a little bit of a discount. And I have all the templates that I make are all in that group. And also I have all kinds of other full-length tutorials and classes in there. So now this is done. Fast forward, this one's dry. So
I love videos.
when you're working, you can then, like if it's, you know, dry enough, you don't want to do this on a slightly wet surface, but if you know that it's kind of more on the dry side, you can even come in and add, like depending on your artistic ability, if you need that extra little bit of guides, you can come in and add your little paws there. And then you're adding those little paws on his belly.
So sweet.
And you see when that other area has had time to dry, well, those little paws look like they're resting on his tummy. If I did it while the icing was wet, they wouldn't look like two things. They'd just be one big thing that melts together.
Right. It's so nice. It is worth the extra time. It really gives a lot of bang for your buck on these cookies.
Well, I mean, it's like a little art project, right? So you're, I mean, if you want fast, make the chick. If you want to have some like creative outlet, then make the bunny, you know? But the chick is what's great when you're making cookies is actually pairing simple designs with fancier ones so that you can, you know, have a little bit of fun.
Yes.
And not make yourself crazy. If you need a lot of cookies, you can have, and some people love the chick, doesn't matter to them. They don't understand that.
Did you just move to another dry cookie?
Yes. And now, well, it's because when I add here, it's touching the paw. So I have to jump to another one.
And she's got her feet transfers on there, right? Those are transfers?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and there is a question. This is a good question because you helped me with this last year. Do you have a preferred brand of black pearls?
Well, I do, and they're known for bleeding. A lot of people have problems with bleeding, and it's PME that makes the ones that are kind of like usually pretty guaranteed to not bleed.
Right. We really don't know why though, right? We don't know if it's the coating or what the deal is, but we know that we've used all the sizes on those and we haven't had the issue.
Well, I'd like to believe that Wilton, of all companies, would figure out how to make a pearl that doesn't bleed. But it is an issue, and it's really frustrating when you've spent hours making your cookies and you wake up the next day and they're ruined. So these ones here are actually pretty good. They don't bleed. They're how sweet is that? She sells them. I think she gets like a bulk and then she repackages, but they're not perfect spheres. So sometimes it looks okay, but other times if you really want a really round, they're not super round.
Right.
You know? So now you'd have to wait again for those ears to dry so that when you add the face, there's this separation that we see here. You see here the separation? So I have another one in the step of these cookies.
The PME pearl size, are you using like a 3 millimeter or?
They're usually 4 millimeter. 4. The one that I like, I use a 4 and a 7. I think this is a 7. And the 7 here, let me just drop it. The cookie's not decorated, but you'll see what, like that it changes the look of the face. You know, it makes, see, they're not the same size. Do you see what I mean? So you have to pick them out to find the ones that are the same. And this is more kind of kawaii-ish.
Right. This question's for you.
Beet sugar versus cane sugar.
I've never used them.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's what's local to, you know, some areas maybe can't get cane sugar. I know, for example, we get a lot of our sugar from Cuba, but I don't know if the embargo is still happening for the United States and you guys aren't getting sugar the same places we get our sugar. So it's a different
You know, when everything broke loose, sugar was one of the first things to go, but we seem to be restocked on all our normal brands again.
Yeah.
It was missing for weeks, flour and sugar.
So now my ears have had, it doesn't take long for the crusting to happen. So I'm going to just add the
So cute.
my piping tip. If I wasn't on a live right now, I'd get a bigger one just so that I can kind of work faster.
Judy, the brand is PME, and you can also get them on Amazon if you're in the States. I think you're asking about the black pearls, right? So 4 millimeter Mar was just showing you, or eight millimeter, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's either 7 or 8. They're not a big difference in size. And
I have gotten both sizes on Amazon though, so for sure I know that they come around on there.
so this is not ideal. Like when you're filling a big area like this, couple of things happen when you're working with a super small tip. You're making a lot of lines, right? For no reason. If this was coming out on a bigger tip, well, I wouldn't have as many things to heal. It would just kind of like fill the area much more smoothly. But right now I can't switch it out. I don't have a bigger one, so we'll make do.
Right. If you were doing 300, you'd switch it out, but we're doing 1, so we're going to keep trucking.
Exactly right.
Love it.
I shake it. So the magic of this kind of motion, the vibration like causes the icing to just self heal.
So look in our kids class, Mar, this is what we do to get the kids to shake the cookies. We do shake, shake, shake.
Oh yeah,
we have a little cookie dance we do.
So now I would let this dry. Now you can decide if you want to do the pearls. Here I'm using my template and I airbrushed the face detail on.
And yes, we are live. She switched it just that fast on you. She must have 12 cookies there ready to go.
And I've got my pink icing again from the ears, and then I can just quickly fill in the nose. If you don't want to do the whiskers in icing, you could certainly leave them just airbrushed. I don't hate it. And the mouth as well. But if you do want to pipe, don't do the whiskers in black. It's too harsh, and it's just too harsh. So I've got some.
If they want to do it in marker just over your airbrushing, what would you recommend for color? Would you do a brown, or
I'd maybe do a gray. If you order a marker and you're working on white cookies, it's not ideal to come in with black. So this is gray, and it's already a little bit like better. You see, like it's not so harsh.
Yeah, I like that a lot better. And the answer to this next question is yes. Definitely yes. Sent them sailing. In fact, I have a nail it or sail it thing that I do when I don't like a cookie. One day I'll video that for you. I'm sure people upstairs get a kick out of it. Asking a question about airbrushing the face detail. Cookie must be 100% dry.
Well, if you're resting a stencil, your cookie needs to be, at least like a good 75% dry.
Right.
And if you're resting it gently, if there's no pressure, but if you're just doing like shading, you don't need to wait, because the icing doesn't need to be, you're not touching the surface if you're airbrushing without a stencil. So you see, I just added the little eyebrows in white. And I find that if you're adding these kind of details in the same color, like especially like a white critter, it's just less harsh, Yeah,
it's very pretty. You still get the dimension though, because you've added and it's not melting in. It looks great.
I don't find that it takes away. So now here, I made my feet in advance, but you could certainly pipe them on, and you want to add your icing. The glue, you want to use the same color so that when you put it on and it squishes out icing, it doesn't squish out green or blue or some other color.
Right.
There. And now I've got thicker icing with a star tip, and I like to add a little tuft of fur on the top of the head of critters. Just like if my icing had been dry, I would have added a little bit of blush before adding the whiskers. I do like blush on my cookies.
Those tufts of hair give that bunny such a cute look. So sweet.
And when the icing's thick, you can actually even touch it, you see, to kind of style his little tuft of fur. So there they
he's
are.
adorable.
There they are.
I love him. He's adorable. Is the chick nearby? Can the chick come hang out?
There's the chick. And then the lamb. I'm not doing the lamb today.
Are you
but
sure you have 10 minutes?
I'm not, I don't have my stuff. And I actually, I don't have like the whole step thing. Like I'm not prepared.
We'll catch him next week.
But you see, I wanted to fit him on the eggs, so his little legs are kind of up in the air. This is kind of the position they sit them in when they shear them.
Right.
Do you ever see a sheep getting sheared? It's like, I'll show it again. I think I have the picture here. So just to show you guys, if you missed last week's, I had shown this picture. So this is Bunny's actual feet. And so the bunny doesn't have little pink dots under their feet. That's a cat on the other side. So you might have some people tell you, oh, you know, that's not like how, but it's so much cuter with the little pink dots. Personally, I really like dots.
I think they're adorable.
It makes them, you know, a little color.
I'm not sure what Judy's question is. Is this the pearl finish half dome beads? No, they're actually full circles. They're full round beads.
Yes, they get pushed into the icing. That's why it's important to apply them when the icing is wet, because if you add them after this icing has dried, well, they sit really weird on the face, and then also they can get chipped off. You know,
they lose the cuteness, right? They become like these big bug eyes.
Well, it looks creepy in my opinion. It's a bit.
What was the seconds on your flooding for that white? Would you say that was about a 20?
Yeah, probably. And then for the feet, like if you wanted to do the feet, you want them to dry like thick-ish. You know, you don't want them to dry super flat. So you need a thicker icing for that to happen. Here's my eyes from the other live stream. You can rewatch our lives. They're all saved on Facebook if you want to rewatch an episode. So see here, I can come in and do the feet. And so if you're short on time and you want to make cookies, if you have a day job, you know, well, this is how you can kind of do it. You make your parts at night. And then when decorating day comes, well, you're not going to be so swamped. You know, it takes the fun away when
it becomes stressful.
You know, so you can bake your cookies, you can freeze them, you can make your royal icing transfers, and then you can, when the day comes that you want to make your cookies, where's my needle tool? Oh, there it is.
You know, I started making the royal icing transfers because I just liked the level of detail, and then things wouldn't sink on my cookie. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But then I realized how many more cookies I could make by making all these parts ahead of time, and it became a profitability issue. So it's really important to learn how to make transfers if you're running a bakery for profit, right? They're not hard. They're really beautiful. You can do a lot of designs yourself once you get used to how to put them together so that you make strong transfers, because you don't want to spend all this time and then have something pop off that sheet and be broken, right?
Well, that's for sure. So here I'm just gently touching the surface so that the icing kind of sinks in, but I'll show you on the white ones right next to it. It gives it a different look when you pipe the little toe beans on top of the dry. So here I'm just.
Would you say you used the same consistency icing when you did those transfers as what you were just using with that small tip and you did the white?
This might be slightly thicker. It might be 15.
Like toothpaste?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is trickier to use though because it doesn't heal as easily.
Thank you, Donna, for the super sticker.
Thank you very much.
I don't know what that means, but I know Marlyn does.
Yes. So you see, it gives it a different look when it's a little bit up. So it's up to you if you want to have it sunk in or if you want to have it like raised. It's a question of like personal preference. I like them both ways.
Now, I have this question for you too. Do you dry your transfers in a dehydrator ever?
No, I don't need to because, well, just my house, like they dry fine. I think it's like your climate. And I'm usually like I'm planning ahead. I don't need them like super quickly.
That's
So
what I
it's
was going to
fine.
say. The different times a year, sometimes I put them in just long enough to crust so that they won't sink, but I don't leave them in there until they're fully dry. Sometimes it's different times a year I find that they sink faster. You know, you get the divots in them.
Yes, exactly.
So you
So
just have to get used to what's happening where you are.
so the
Oh, you took
transfer,
this one.
I store my transfers in these wooden boxes. So I get boxes at the dollar store and I put cupcake liners. And so if there's any moisture, you save. Sometimes you buy food, or you could buy those
Mhm.
little silica packs. They sell silica for food.
Right.
So it absorbs the moisture, because if you put them in a sealed container and there's moisture left in there, well, they'll get moldy.
Yep, they'll all be ruined. Look at those carrots. You made those last week. I just adore those.
And this, you want to have a thicker icing when you're making your carrots, because see those
Mhm.
little ripples in the
Yeah,
icing? That adds to the look, right?
so pretty.
And I mean, you could add that to your, you stick he's holding a little carrot there. You could put his little paw around it and he's clutching a little carrot.
Look at
Adds it,
that.
you know? So the royal icing transfers are a fun way. I'll bring this guy here. Here's a St. Patrick's Day chick.
Oh, so cute. So cute. Can they purchase your royal icing transfers and stencils, or is that only through your cookie school? Don't you have these on Etsy too?
I have a few things on Etsy, but I don't have these templates yet. Like, I didn't add them. It's just so many places that I have to put everything.
Oh, this may be why you have so many South African viewers.
Oh, well, hopefully I'm doing a good job.
Yeah.
And you guys can start, like, that's it. Slowly, parts of the world are discovering cookies. I think maybe the pandemic too, people are looking for things to do.
Oh,
This
so
little
cute.
tiny carrot.
What orange did you use for your transfers on the chick and
This is
on your carrot?
actually Sweet Sugar Bells orange.
Okay.
I got it. She had sent me like a Halloween kind of bundle of things, of products, and
Nice.
it's a nice orange, eh?
Very perfect for this.
This one here is more. This one. It must be Americolor. This orange. See, I like it better. It's like a little bit. See, it's like it's nice, but I think it would be too harsh on that yellow.
Right.
You can see here, this yellow is darker a little bit. I like the kind of a bit more muted yellow.
It's so pretty with the spring colors, right? And guys, Marlyn, can you tell them how much your cookie school is? Because it is totally worth the value. Is it still $4.99 a month?
It is. It's $4.99. I keep the price like that so that I'm thinking just make it affordable, and like I'll make, the more people join, obviously, then the better it is for me. But I try to keep it accessible so that everybody can kind of take advantage and learn how to decorate cookies. And there you have like full length tutorials, all the recipes.
You guys, there's a huge library in that school too. It's not just for new projects, it's just everything. There's so much on there.
Well, I've been doing it for so many years. So yeah, it's added up over the years. It's added up. So there was a question earlier about how long they keep. If you keep them like in a
transfers, are we on?
Yeah,
transfers? Okay.
Keep, like, I've got here, I'll bring out a couple of trays. Like they keep very, very well. Like the color stays nice. Like these I made for Halloween, I think 2 Halloweens ago. These are on a champagne bottle. This is
that's the button. I remember that video.
Yeah.
From the champagne bottle.
See, I made these flowers a couple of months ago.
Wow.
So you can have them in your storage and pull them out. See the little bees?
Yes, I love making bees. I like making bee transfers.
So you can make like all your little decorations and add them. Oh, here are the eyes we made a few live streams ago.
Oh yeah, they look good. So Mar, those boxes, that is so it'll get a little bit of air, correct?
That's right. So they're sealed, like they're clean. I've got them in my storage, but they're not they're not airtight. And like I say, if you get those silica packs in certain things, save them.
And in your sprinkle bottles, you get a lot of them. Just save those. Put them in a Ziploc bag. It so comes in handy. Can they join you on the is it on Facebook? They pay through Facebook, or do they have to go to a website? They can do it through Facebook, right?
If you join on Facebook, you pay through Facebook. If you join on Patreon, well, you're paying on Patreon.
Okay.
So you can decide if you want to know which one is preferred. Well, for me, Patreon takes a smaller percentage of the amount, so I get more money in my pocket if you go through Patreon. So for me, it's better there. But if Facebook is what you'd prefer, I opened it there to give you guys like an option.
So nice.
Thank you, Susan. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thanks.
You have so many comments today about the cookie school. I love it.
Well, I try to, like, how my brain works. I think I'm pretty good at articulating the steps that need to happen when you're doing something. So that's it. It's being able to, because you can know how to do something, and it's another thing to.
Yes, another arena entirely to translate that information, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Someone can repeat.
We see that sometimes with our kids at school. They come home and they don't understand, but then they get another teacher the following year, and all of a sudden they discover math.
Well, what are we doing next week? What do you feel like?
Well, I actually did this today.
Ooh, guys, we're getting a preview.
So this might be, I took my camera away.
Oh, yeah.
So I made,
so popular.
Yeah, I made the template and everything for these number cookies. And so I thought I'd maybe make these my airbrush trigger. I got brown there, but you see there's just like the giant numbers. So you could, I guess you could format it and put your kid's name, but depending on your kid's name, like my son is Ryan, it would work. If your son is
Alexander.
Yeah, Jean-Francois, maybe not too much,
Right.
You're going to have to stick with the number. But
love it. You could even flip that one right there and make 6, right? It looks like you could work that in the lettering.
You just have to, yes, this is hand cut. So you can just format them to, like, I've got 4 over there. It's not decorated. I've got 4, 5, and 2. Some numbers are nicer than others. So I think we're going to do this project just to.
Are you going to do the airbrushing stencil? Because that almost looks like a nice gingham pattern there, huh?
This is a silk screen stencil.
Oh, cool.
AliExpress.
AliExpress. You know we love that.
So yes, I think we'll do a little bit of airbrush next Tuesday with. I think there's more birthdays. I don't know. I might be wrong. I don't know if there's an even amount of births throughout the year, but it seems like there's more birthdays like spring, summer. Am I crazy in thinking that?
We do a lot of birthday cookies April, May, June. A lot.
Jeremy,
it's
not hard. You freeze your dough so that it's somewhat like firm. And so then when you're hand cutting, your cookies don't get all wonky. So I'll have a little video at the pre-recorded video to show the hand cutting.
Are you going to show them whether you use a pen blade or whether you use an X-Acto knife? Are you going to show them that part?
Yeah, I filmed when I made these so that I can show that part without having to have like raw cookies as I'm decorating,
Okay.
So we'll have a pre-recorded front part of the video, and then we'll finish with decorating.
Well, I am not sure what I'm doing next week, but I'll just put it out there that I suspect it's going to have something to do with florals and transfers.
Oh, very good.
Because I think we haven't done a terrible huge amount of that, right? You and I. And I have been really practicing my florals because I can use them, store. I tell you guys all the time, I'm always thinking a holiday back, 2 holidays forward. So we can use these we could have used them for Valentine's Day. We definitely can be using them for Easter and definitely Mother's Day. And then any spring cookies. We sell a lot of cookies in April. People like flour cookies. And then birthdays because of birthday season. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So maybe drop us a few comments and tell me if that's something you're interested in, because if not, I'm happy to jump back on the Easter train. I have a ton of Easter cookies that I cut out last week. Jeremy.
Well, I mean, have you, I don't know, the hand cutting, maybe it's like, I mean, I guess there's a point where it just becomes so second nature.
Yeah, sometimes people just don't have what you want, right? And you need a certain thing.
Well, the thing is, let's be honest, your kid only turned 6 one time.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know what I mean? If you have a baby, it's a whole other situation. But and the thing is if you're making, let's say, a cookie like that, you might not want 12 of those cookies. You might just want 1 or 2 in your set, right? Balloons and some other stuff in a birthday platter, and you might not need, it's not worth, I mean, buying cutters gets pricey, and then you're a mountain of cookie cutters that you're not even using. So
guys, I can't ever say anything to any of you that leave things in the boxes, because just today I thought I have to take a day and make time to get this 3D printer out. I bought it specifically so I could print cutters when I needed them for things and for my cookie group. And it's just so intimidating to me. So I don't know. We'll see when that happens. But
well, the whole STL thing, like that's a format for the files.
Right.
I mean, I think the other part, like, people are selling now, the cutter companies are actually selling the STL files, which are much cheaper.
Yes.
And even, like, let's say you buy the STL, you could format it to make your cutter the size you need. Like, you could print it in multiple format. You could print it at 2 inches, 4 inches, whatever, you know?
Yes. I'm just a little intimidated by printing itself on a 3D printer, but you know, if we weren't in the middle of a whatever, I'm not going to say the word again, but if we weren't in the middle of this thing that's happening to all of us, I know I could get my brother-in-law to help me and at least get me up and running. But because of what we're involved in, it's going to have to just be me trying it out. So it might be part of a blooper reel, right?
Exactly. It's tough. My son has done it, and it's tough. So Cheryl,
hand painting.
You know, on Fridays, Amber's on, and she's quite talented with the painting. So you might want to join us on Fridays when
and I think
is on.
Somebody said they're going to be hand painting this week, didn't they? I think one of them said hand painting on Friday.
Out her airbrush again, from what I recall, and Han has not, because I'm not working on this week. It's Han and Amber, I'm pretty sure, if I recall. Yeah. And so I don't know what Han is doing, but I know Amber said she was going to be pulling out her airbrush. Like, she's free to change her mind. Who knows what's going to happen?
Right. A lot can go on, you guys, between Tuesday and Friday. I'm just saying. Oh, so look, flower transfers, they do kind of like that idea. So is that okay if I do that, Mar? Does that sound good?
It's perfect. Everybody, I mean, it's like anything you can do to get ready for the busy season. So I think next week will be fun. Then it'll be varied airbrush, number cookie, and then flowers. So
yeah, and I'm interested.
Join us on Tuesday. Yeah, the Friday video is free, but like like I say, the groups are just added information if you're an avid decorator, an affordable kind of added layer of knowledge if you want to up your game.
Yes. I love my airbrush, and I bought mine because of Marlyn. I got the cordless one. And I thought, it's not a terribly expensive tool. I think it was only like, it was out of your shop. It was like $50 or something.
Yeah, I just actually re-updated because the Amazon links sometimes change.
Mm-hmm.
So I updated on my Facebook. I added the new kind of like listing for the same airbrush. And yeah, it's like $53, very affordable.
If you don't like it, you don't have to keep using it. But really, compared to the price of the other things that people get, like the 3D printers, the Pico projectors, there's so much. Even other airbrushes can be several $100s. If you're not sure if you're going to like it, jump in with one of those. But I do have to tell you, having a cordless airbrush is huge, because there's cables all over this table right now. You can't see them, but they're everywhere.
Well, that's what I hated all the time. It's like you go to reach for it, and then your wire's just too short, or you're on top of everything. Next thing you know, the wires in your that you just decorated.
Yes.
So
And the other thing is my plugins, I'm right-handed, but my plugin is all on the other side of the table. So then I had to have that cord like reaching around if, so I was like, no, I can't do that. But I do really like mine. And I've had no trouble with it at all.
Yeah. Laura, I haven't made a video how to set up your machine, but I do have a few on how to like make the stencils, how to design the stencils. And,
yeah. But you guys, I'll just tell you, in the cookie school, she's got tons of stuff in there. If you can figure out how to use your silhouette or your Cricut, you can get rolling with the stencils pretty easy. She's got all kinds of things in there with the different cookie projects.
And then it's also like the actual stencils that you're getting.
Yeah.
You're getting like the actual, because on the Silhouette store, they're affordable, but usually you're paying between, $1 to $4 or $5 there. They're included. So they're in the library. So you can
just paid for your library for a month, right?
Exactly.
So affordable. So I'll try to work in the little Easter bunny next week too into my floral so that we don't feel like he's
oh yeah, it would be cute. Hello, Joseph. I noticed you've been joining us for the last few lives.
Yes.
I'm a new cookie fan.
Yes. I didn't see Byron today. Hey, Teresa.
Have fun with your new airbrush. So I think we're going to wrap it up, Amy.
Okay, sounds awesome. I had a great time today. I hope you guys enjoyed all these cookies.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. And like I mentioned earlier, if you want to rewatch the live, they're available on both Facebook and on YouTube to rewatch. There's a playlist. All of them are saved, both the Friday and Tuesday versions. So if you want to rewatch, there's all kinds of.
And share them. You guys feel free. Go to our pages, grab them, share them, put them in your feeds. It helps us.
Yes, absolutely.
We'd love for you to follow us on all our social media platforms. So I'm going to run down Mar's, okay? Mar has her page, which is Montreal Confections. Then she's got the Cookie School, right, which is separate. And then she's got her YouTube channel. She's got a Dessert Network channel. And Amazon, you're doing live on Amazon now too?
Well, I didn't do it today because I couldn't set up the camera. So it's live here. It's just that it allows you to link the products that you talk about, Oh,
I got you. Oh, that's handy. I didn't realize that's why you were doing it. That's cool.
Yeah, that's why. So Amy, her handle is Seriously Sweet. Yeah. And so you just created
Street. Yeah. I'm sorry?
You just created a YouTube?
Yep, I just did YouTube because we're trying to, since we have the bakery, it's really hard for people to find our particular stuff. Some people are only interested in cookies, so I'm trying to keep Instagram all cookies. The YouTube is for the videos and tutorials, really, right? Because my store page, at any point you could get on there, it could be voting for a contest, might be something that's going on in town, it might be some release from something in our county. It's our menu every day. So it's just, the Facebook has lots and lots of stuff on there. So I'm trying to find the platforms that seem to get the most attention for the particular things.
And did you create your Easter? Were you doing a royal icing transfer thing this?
Yeah, I'm going to have a class. It's going to release the beginning of March. We're going to do another royal icing transfer class, Easter themed. And then I actually have an Easter class that's going up for people that don't live local. Now you'll see when you get on my website, when all these things go up the 1st of March, you're also going to see classes that are for local people. They're a little bit more expensive, but they actually come and pick up cookies and icing, and they pick up a kit and actually take it and do it versus just being everything virtual. So I'm trying to keep everybody occupied during the last stages, I hope, of the pandemic, right? We're trying to make sure all the groups have something.
Doesn't it though, Anne? It goes by so fast.
Yes. Do you guys have fun? It looks like we have a lot of people.
I do have an Amazon store. It's Montreal Confections Cookie School. I think I named it on Amazon. Yeah. And the link, is it? Yeah, it's this one here, but it's a weird, like now I've had it. It's shop and then the Montreal Confections Cookie School instead of influencer C7CC. I have to change that, but so that's why you can find that link on my Instagram. I have everything in my Instagram bio.
Yeah, I'm not great on Instagram yet. I'm just watching all the cool stuff that you put up and still trying to figure out how to do it. But
I
the
mean, it's
last,
all the keeping up with all the social media. Let me
yeah,
tell you, it's a full-time job. Never mind, having to film a video on top of it. It's like too much.
yeah. I've been on the Procreate wagon the last week learning Procreate because I just got an iPad and
Yes,
I wanted to bring better royal icing transfers to my game. So I've been using Procreate for 2 weeks and focusing.
it's a great tool for that.
Yeah, it's
Thank
fun.
you, Amy. We're gonna wrap it up. You guys come back on Tuesday, and I'll see you on. For those of you want to join me and
Yeah,
Ann and Amber on Friday.
I'll be watching. I'll be there.
All right.
I
So
love Fridays.
see you Friday. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.